A shocking clash on live TV. Sean Bean's epic walkout from Lorraine Kelly's show Buckle Up, Folks, because this ain't no ordinary tale of celebrity interview gone south. Picture this: a crisp, foggy London morning, the kind that wraps the River Thames in a ghostly hug, like an old mate you haven't seen in ages. It's autumn, October 2025, and Sean Bean, Britain's king of gritty, soulful roles, the guy who's died on screen more times than you've had hot, dinner strolls into the ITV studios, expecting a cozy chat on. Lorraine, the morning show hosted by the usually warm Lorraine, Kelly Sean at 66, is all rugged charm, that Sheffield-born grit still shining through. From his Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings days, he's there to plug his new BBC drama Shadows of the North, a meaty story about a haunted ex-miner battling corporate greed in his native Yorkshire. Sounds gripping, right, a roll? He's poured his heart into visiting old pit sites, soaking up the pain of the 1984 miners' strikes to get it just right. This should be a breeze. Sean's done this dance 1,000 times, press junkets, red carpets, you name it. He's ready to share a laugh, maybe drop a behind-the-scenes anecdote, and be out by lunch. But holy hell, does this morning take a turn for the unhinged. In just 34 seconds, a simple question about his latest project explodes into the most jaw-dropping meltdown daytime TV has ever seen. Sean does the unthinkable, walks out head high, leaving Lorraine floundering like a sailor lost at sea. This isn't just an interview gone wrong. It's a clash of titans, a tale of ambush, insults, and an exit so bold it'll be etched in TV history forever. Let's dive into the chaos, unpack the drama, and figure out how a routine chat turned into a live TV bloodbath to see a storm brewing. It's a chilly autumn day, the kind where the air nips at your fingers just enough to keep you sharp. Sean Bean pulls up to the ITV studios early, all northern grit and charm. He's promoting Shadows of the North, a BBC series where he plays Jack Harrow, a former coal miner scarred by the 1984 strikes, now fighting to save his Yorkshire town from a soulless mining conglomerate. This role is personal for Sean. He's a Sheffield lad born and bred, and he's dug deep into his roots for this one, visiting abandoned pit sites, talking to real miners' families, feeling the weight of their struggles in the green room. He's sipping a proper Yorkshire brew, joking with the crew about how London tea doesn't hold a candle to his hometown's finest. The vibes are relaxed, everyone's chuckling, and Sean's in high spirits, ready for a friendly chat. But as he steps onto the set, something's off. The air crackles like the moment before a thunderstorm. Lorraine Kelly, morning TV's queen, sits there, arms folded tight. No trace of her usual cheery Scottish lilt. Her face is stone-cold, eyes sharp enough to cut glass. No warm grin, no lovely to see you, Sean. Just a stare that could freeze a pint of Guinness. The audience, a mix of pensioners, mums on a day out, and a few curious tourist claps on cue, but it's tepid, like they sense a storm brewing. Sean catches the vibe, but shrugs it off. Maybe she's just having an off day. He thinks he flashes at Million with smile, the one that's won hearts for decades, and settles into the guest chair. Thanks for having me, Lorraine. Great to be here. He says, his deep Yorkshire drawl smooth, as gravel warm as a fireside pint. Lorraine doesn't bite no lovely to see you too, or tell us about your weekend. Instead, she dives in voice sharp as a butcher's knife. So Sean, your new show, another brooding northern bloke with dark past. Ever get tired of playing the same old part? The room goes dead. You can hear programs rustling, a few awkward coughs in the audience. This isn't the fluffy opener. Morning TV thrives on Sean's smile dips just a fraction, but he's a pro, keeping it light. Well, I wouldn't say they're all the same, Lorraine. Each role's got its own soul, its own fire. This one's different, rooted in real struggles, miners, families torn apart by industry collapse. It's got heart. Lorraine's not buying it. She leans forward, eyes narrowing like slits. Let's be real, Sean. You built a career on dying in films, playing rough types who scowl at the camera. How's this any different? The camera zooms in on Sean's face. His jaw tightens, hands grip the chair a bit harder. He's breathing steady. But you know a storm's brewing inside. He's faced tough critics, tabloid hacks, even Oscar snobs. But this feels different, person, like she's got a score to settle. I think that a bit unfair, Lorraine. He says, voice calm, but firm. I played everything from Shakespearean kings to fantasy warriors to spies. I always push myself, take risks. The series is about redemption, community, fighting the odds. It's not just another role, it's a story that matters. Lorraine waves her hand like swatting a fly at a barbecue. Push yourself, please. You've been churning out the same gruff voice, angry stare, dramatic death. For 30 years, easy money, die at the end, cash the check, repeat, gasps ripple through the crowd. People glance at each other, gobsmacked. This is live TV, morning TV, where the worst drama is usually a botched scone recipe, not this verbal slaughter. Sean's knuckles whiten on the chair, but he holds it together. Take my work seriously, Lorraine. Every project means something sorry if you don't see the layers, but millions of fans connect with these characters because they're real, flawed human. Lorraine scoffs loud enough with mics to catch fans. You mean the ones who watch just to see you die again? Quite the legacy, Sean. Being the king of on-screen death detentions, thick enough to choke on producers, are probably losing it backstage waving for a cut to ads, but Lorraine's in deep like a boxer who want back. Down Sean locks eyes with her voice dropping low. Intense, why am I here, Lorraine? Did you invite me just to slag me off? 'Cause if that's the plan, I've got better ways to spend my morning. She fires back, voice louder. Now, don't be so sensitive. I'm just saying what everyone thinking you waltz onto these shows plug your little projects about the same lines. It's boring, Sean. Frankly, boring, Sean. Repeats the word, a spark of anger in his tone. Boring. That's rich coming from someone who's been recycling the same chit-chat. For 20 years, Lorraine's face goes beet red. She bolts upright finger pointing like a teacher scolding a kid. Excuse me, I've built my career on real connections, genuine talks. Something you would know hiding behind your role. Sean lets out a sharp, bitter laugh. Real connections. This feels like an ambush. What happened to you, Lorraine? You used to be classy, the crew's in chaos. Now cameras, wobbling floor managers, whispering producers in her earpiece, screaming to go to break. But Lorraine, blind to it, locked to her. Bizarre crusade? What happened to me? What about you? You used to be fresh, exciting. Now you're just cashing in on period dramas. And tough guy roles. When did you last? Really challenge yourself. Do something that matters. That's the line. Sean stands slow, not dramatic, but with purpose. He looms over the set, disappointment carved into his face. I don't need this. I came here in good faith to talk about a project. My team slaved over a story about real people battling real demons. But you don't care, do you? This is just your ego trip, tearing someone down to feel big. Sit down, Sean. Lorraine snaps, voice cutting. We're not done, oh. We're done, he fires back, unclipping his mic hand. Steady, the saddest part. One respected you once, thought you were one of the good ones, caring about your guests. But this is just cruel. Lorraine stands to match him. The set's a battlefield. Now you don't walk out on me. This is my show, my turf. Sean pauses, mic off, jacket straight. He looks at her with pity. Your show. This ain't a show anymore, it's a circus. And I ain't your clown. Want to know why I keep working? 'Cause I respect people. I show up, do the job. Don't tear others down. Feel better now. How dare you, Lorraine, hisses her, cool gone. Maybe panic creeping, and I've been at this longer than you interviewed PM's royal stars. I don't need lessons from an actor who can't survive his own films. That's it. Sean sets the mic gently on the chair, no slam, just calm. He turns to the camera, speaking to the nation, to everyone watching who cares about Shadows of the North. Sorry for this mess. It's a cracking show with a brilliant cast and crew who gave everything watching for them. They deserve it. Then back to Lorraine one last time. Hope this stunt was worth it. You've just shown the world who you really are. He walks calm, deliberate toward the exit. Camera scramble, unsure where to point the audience. Sit stunned, some jaws dropped, others whispering. If you leave, you'll never work in British TV again. Lorraine shouts, voice cracking with rage. Maybe panic. Sean stops at the stage's edge, doesn't turn ID, rather quit forever than share air with you another second. He's gone past the lights, the crew. The producers scrambling like headless chickens. The studio falls silent. Lorraine stands frozen, face a mess of anger, shame, maybe regret. Producers are yelling in. Her earpiece cut to ad say something. She stares at the empty chair like it's laughing at her. Finally, after what feels like forever, maybe 10 seconds, she faces a camera, voice shaky. Well, that was unexpected. We'll be right back after these messages. Cut to ads, tea bags, and insurance oblivious to the chaos. The damage is done in those wild minutes. Millions watch the TV giant unravel. Sean, being known for stoic roles and off-screen kindness, was pushed to the edge by a host with bizarre vendetta. But hay raced the kicker, Sean's composure. He didn't rant, swear, or throw chairs. He defended his craft with grace, then walked when it turned toxic. Lorraine, she came off as the villain, petty mean, wielding her platform like a club to fall out. Social media explodes. The audience during the break is buzzing like a hive. Phones out, tweets flying. Did that just happen? Sean being walked out. Lorraine was out of line. He's a legend for that. When the show returns, Lorraine forces a smile fake as a knockoff handbag shaking. As she intros the next segment, a cooking demo or some fluff, she stumbles on words, eyes flicking to that empty seat. The guest chef feels a vibe, keeps answers short, awkward laughs, filling the gaps. The studio's energy is dead. What should have been cheery morning fluff feels like a funeral outside. Sean's probably his car, exhaling deep, phone exploding with texts from mates, agents. What the hell was that? He expected a breezy chat, not a character assassination. Rewind. Why did Lorraine go full kamikaze? Bad blood, a rough morning, a misfired stab at edgy journalism. Whatever, would she cross lines? Her questions weren't tough. They were low blows, dismissing a 40-year career as Easy money, boring repeats. Let's talk about Sean's resume. It's a beast from Sharp's rifles to Ned Stark's beheading in Game of Thrones, Boromir's arrow-riddled end in Lord of the Rings to countless thrillers. He's done theater voice games, narrated docs. Sure, he dies. A lot is a meme, but that's directors loving his deaths for impact. Lorraine, trash it all, ignore the nuance. The awards noms a fan love. It was cruel, pointless, like mocking a chef for cooking food. Sean's response, pure class, when she mocked his legacy. He could have gone. Nuclear called her as been, or worse instead. He shouted out his team even in exit mode. He plugged the show, humbly not for himself. But for them it takes guts to walk out on live TV cameras, rolling millions, watching most would have endured, fearing backlash. But Sean knew his words. You don't take abuse, his actions roared. That mic dropped, setting it gently on the chair, no drama. Just truth, iconic. Then speaking to the camera, like a mate sorry for the mess. But check the series, its ace parting shot. To Lorraine, you've shown your true colors not. Vicious, just factor threat, never work again. Laughable, Sean's a global star, Hollywood, BBC, Netflix. One host tantrum won't sink him. If anything, it boosts his rep. The guy who stood up to bullying with poise. Social media went wild. Twitter or X, whatever, lit up with Team Sean trending clips. Shared millions of times. Sean being on Lorraine. Kelly, she's lost all respect. Legend for walking tabloid. Scream Lorraine's meltdown being bolts after. Brutal bashing ITV bosses in crisis mode. Issued a week. Statement, we regret the discomfort. Lorraine stayed quiet at first, then dropped a tepid apology. The next day, sorry. If I offended too little too late, why it hits so hard. This hits hard because it's more than gossip. It's about respect, boundaries, humanity. Sean showed up open, ready to share Lorraine. Weaponize her power, turn an interview into an attack in a world of trolls, and cancel culture's walkout resonates, stand-up exit toxicity. It's empowering for actors and nod that your work's valid for hosts. A warning. Don't abuse the mic. Let's dive into Shadows of the North. Sean's character, Jack Harrow, is a miner broken by the 84 strikes, fighting a conglomerate ripping his town apart. Themes of lost grit class, where the cast includes fresh faces and old pros. Sean's research was deep, visiting pits, talking to survivors. That's the craft. Lorraine dismissed her barbs, ignored his effort, the accents. He nailed the emotions. He made raw the physical toll. He's broken bones. On set, Lorraine's career, 30 years of morning TV. From GMTV to her own gig known for warm relatability, but whispers of diva moments surface. Post-class Sean, a Sheffield lad, no nepotism, just graft, no scandals. Just work, a father, gardener, Sheffield United fan. This clash was David versus Goliath. But David won by not fighting the audience post-walkout. Some clapped quietly, others stunned. One lady tweeted, I was there, felt like history crew. Relieved. Maybe rumors of Lorraine's temper swirl. Producers cut the show short, filled it with fluff, rating spiked, but for the wrong reasons. The aftermath and legacy. Fast forward, Sean's career soars. Shadows gets rave reviews, awards, buzzies on chat shows. Fallon, Kimmel joking about that walkout. Lorraine's show, dip sponsors getting nervous, rumors abound. But scars fade, kindness wins as tales timeless, raw, unscripted. Sean didn't seek the spotlight, found his calm exit heroic. In 34 seconds, TV change proof. Even legends have limits. Next time you watch a chat show, remember smiles, high tensions. Sometimes walking away is the boldest move. Deep dive. Who are these? Titans, let's flesh out the players. Sean Bean, born Paul Sean Bean in 1959, Handsworth, Sheffield, a welder's son, football mad. He dreamed of playing for Sheffield United until an injury pivoted him to acting, drama school, RSC. Then a breakout in Caravaggio hits like Patriot Games, GoldenEye, Sharp, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. He's died in 23 roles, a record each death, iconic off-screen. He's at marriages kids loves. Gardening stays humble, no scandals, just craft. Lorraine, Kelly, born 1959, Glasgow, started in journalism, rose through TVM to GMTV, then her own ITV show in OB for broadcasting, known for warmth. But this day, off-script venomous, was a grudge, a bad review, a personal slight. We'll never know the build-up in the green room. Sean's sipping tea, reviewing notes, joker with the crew. Lorraine's in makeup, maybe stewing bad day, bad review, or something deeper. She enters the set, lights, hot audience. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated. Subscribe for more powerful video.